right. There we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So I know I said I wasn't live streaming Friday or Sunday. Uh, things change. And leaving the slots open. If I can, I will be live streaming for you guys on my regular days. If I can, if I can't, then you will not see me. If I can, I'm going to try to do it. Okay, so just so you know, like tomorrow, I will be live streaming for my hardcore members. I'm definitely going to be able to do that, and then we'll kind of play the rest of the week by ear. Not sure if I'm going to be able to or not. I'm going to leave the spots open, like I said, but I may not. If I get, you know, if I get to be able to do it, then I'll be here. Otherwise, I won't. That's just kind of how things are going to have to go. But it's been a very productive week. Getting a lot of stuff done here, which is awesome, and happy about that. So, but anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. So I was able to live stream tonight, so I set it up. I tried to set it up early enough so that people could see that I was going to be live streaming. Like I said, I didn't know if I was going to be able to or not. So I just trying to, I'm doing what I got to do, folks. So I'm going to take a quick drink real quick. Much better. All right. So I hope everybody has had a good weekend. I hope it's been productive for you. I hope the goodness that you guys are prepping. I really do. I hope you're being vigilant and that you're getting ready as much as you possibly can. When you have everything going on like it's going on, well, we're going to get into that in a second. So before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody real quick that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, then you will see those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here, because we're not going to tolerate that. It's just not going to be something that's acceptable. So, got a bunch of Augustin Farm freeze-dried veggies to get more sweet potatoes planted. Oh, very nice. There you go. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, but anyhow, yeah, we have. I'll kind of give you a rundown real quick. What's coming up this week should be, and then next weekend is the weekend get together. So that's going to be interesting as well. you know, it's going to be we're going to be busy. Um, but anyway, we have two more buildings going to be coming in this week. How many trees did we take down? I took down 5 trees altogether, and I got to tell you, if you watch the one video, and I think it's not the one today, I think it's the other one that I did, that went up yesterday. The one, or maybe it was today. No, I think it was today's video. Yeah, I think it was today's video because I took down the first 2 trees first, and I went, okay, not bad, went well. Well, I had one tree that was it was like leaning this way, and it was kind of twisted, but it was leaning. If I cut it normally, it would have gone right into the dog kennel, and so I put the notch on the side of it and came around because what I wanted to do is when it fell, I wanted it to twist and go that way, and it went exactly like I planned it would go. And if you hear me in the video, you'll hear me go yes, because I was like, I'll be honest with you, I was like everybody else. I was like, man, I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go. All the best laid plans of mice and men don't always go as planned. So if you see in the video too, as soon as that tree starts to go, I get out of Dodge. And the reason for that is there's plenty of videos out there. You heard, yeah, okay. There's plenty of videos out there where guys are standing there and the tree starts to fall and they stand right there and the tree will twist or kick back and pop up or pop off the bottom rung. you need to get out of the way when that tree is coming down. So that was, that was part of that as well. But yeah, it's the whole aspect of that is just you just got to try to be as careful as you can be, and so that's what I was doing. And actually, Steve was up there because I told him, you know, I had 145 potato plants, all doing well so far. Awesome, Bob. That's great. That's really, really good. Really, really good. But yeah, it's just so I said to him, I go, man, just be here. I said, in case something goes wrong, I just want somebody to be here. And he's like, all right. So he was off standing off to the side, uh, and so like when I was taking the first tree, he was walking up, and then the tree started to go, and I ran back, and I'm telling him, I'm going, stop, stop. He's like, what? He keeps coming. I'm going, stop, man. The tree's coming down. Too funny. But I feel pretty good. Oh, Jackson Dawn, how you feeling? Okay, I'm sorry, full of hope. No, I feel good actually myself. Really, really motivated this week. I've been, like I said, just taking care of a lot of different things. And so, oh, I got to tell you guys this one. So I don't know if you'll see it coming up in the video, but I will let you know what happened. So Steve had gone in to give the chickens some scraps or something, and Wheezy got out. Okay, and so I get home and I go out there to to check on the chickens because I always checking to make sure they got enough water and feed and the whole 9 yards. And I'm looking and I don't see Wheezy, and I'm going, where is she? Did they kill her? I mean, because they've been bullying the crap out of her, guys. I mean, like all on her neck, all the feathers on her neck are gone. She's been getting bullied pretty hard. And I thought, oh my God, they killed her. Because they will do that. Chickens will do that. They're brutal. Chickens are brutal. So what happened was I'm looking around. I don't see the chicken at all. And then Steve had come up and he's like, man, he goes, I gotta tell you. He goes, I feel so bad. He said, she got out. I go, she got out. And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, so I heard Hella and I figured Hella was going after her. So I call Hella back and Hella came back and I'm looking for the chicken. I don't see the chicken. So I said to Steve, I said, you know what? It's almost dusk. We'll wait. I'll bet she'll come back because chickens are going to come back to where they roost, right? So we sitting there, just sitting there BS and chilling. I look down into the lower meadow here, and there she is halfway up the meadow. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I go, you stay up on top. And I kicked around over by the pavilion and I went down and I came up behind her and kind of herded her up in the direction we wanted her to go. And then I said to Steve, I go, just open up the door, to the run because the other chickens were already all roosted. So he opened up the door and, she came up and I said, you just stand there, block her so she doesn't go back around the backside. And with the two of us doing it and, you know, got her in there and she was good to go when she got back in. So when you see that video and you're wondering what happened to Wheezy, Wheezy is back. She's safe. She's back in the run with the rest of the chickens. But yeah, herding chickens. Do you need horses? They're. If you're trying to do it by yourself, it is not fun. I had my girlfriend and I put one of our cats to sleep this week. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do as an adult. R.I.P. Baby Gray. Yeah, neighbor Bob. It's see what a lot of people don't understand when you have animals that you actually care about and that you take care of and you love your animals. When you have to put an animal down, it is not an easy decision ever. Um, and regardless of how you put that animal down, it's like it's hard. It is hard. So, but it's. I'm sorry to hear that your cat passed or that you had to put your cat down. That sucks. That sucks because they're like children. That's what people don't understand. Our animals are like our children. So, and especially, and it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. When you get older and your kids are grown and your kids are gone, you end up with different bonds with animals than you had when you were younger, and you're much more attached to them. So it makes it very, very difficult. But what do we got here? We got 246 in the chat. We got 82 thumbs up, folks. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It's going to make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I do appreciate the thumbs up for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And if you are subscribed and you're not getting notifications, please check that, because YouTube just loves to play all kinds of games. At USS Eisenhower took a direct hit from a Houthi missile launch. You know, I heard that. I heard that there was talk about that, and then, you know, there was like nothing going on. Nothing was being said. One of the things that we're going to talk about in this chat is stuff like that that's going on. Okay. Stuff like that that's going on where our troops are being put in harm's way. And what do you think is going to happen? You know, Whispering Pine said misinformation, JJ. So the media is saying, oh, so the media is trying to say it didn't happen. Yeah. I mean, you know, it is hard to say. You know, it would be embarrassing for the U.S. If it's true. Okay. So, but, you know, you always have to be careful of what is said. But I have not seen confirmation of that yet. So I can't, I'm not going to come on and say, oh my God, this is true. Because until, yeah, like they're ever honest with us. Well, there you go, Don. The information we're given is the information that they want us to have. That's what we always, number one, that's what you have to remember. Whatever information that we are given, it's what they want us to have, not always what the truth is. Hold on, I'm just doing some moving around here. I've been, like I said, I've been on a weird roll lately. I cleaned this whole section of the camper. I mean, I'm talking like I literally around where her dog dishes are. Her dog dishes are always in the same spot. Well, you know, get like the circle around the bottom of the bowl where, you know, I had to take a knife and scrape. What it is too, all it really was is like matted dog hair and dirt around the bottom of the bowls on the outside. And just, it had been a while. I'll just put it like that, since I had cleaned that. So like this was the first time that I had cleaned that. So it was not good. So it took a while, but I just got to move one day. I got up and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do today. But anyway, with the trees were standing dead trees that we had here over here, and that was from when we had originally 2 years ago had opened up that part in you know, the bulldozer guy had come in and he'd pushed that dirt, and he even said to me at the time, you're going to lose some of those trees, because what'll happen is you're pushing the dirt up around the trunks of the trees. It's going to kill the trees. And so we had 5 trees that were sitting there that were standing dead. Well, one of the buildings coming in this week is Jimmy's building. And, you know, before he left, I had said to him, I'm going to get those trees down before they get the buildings in here. And he was like, okay, you know, he goes, yeah. And then I knew that the buildings were coming in. So I was on like a time crunch. And I went out and I took those trees down, and then I've been bucking them up. And actually, Steve's been a big help with that too. I got to give Steve credit for that. He, you know, everything that I cut, he picked up and stacked from the brush from the top of the trees. That's in a big pile that can be utilized as kindling. And then all the smaller stuff is all in piles now, and I'll show you that in an upcoming video. But it really was a big help. Big help. He actually also helped me in the upper meadow. When I was cutting grass. So we have, and you guys know this if you've been watching any of the videos, we got 22 totes up in the upper meadow that were what we thought we're going to utilize them for rain catchment and stuff like that. But when we got them, we realized that they had been used for oil and antifreeze and that type of stuff. So we did not want to obviously use for water collection because of that. So now we have 22 totes. We got to figure out what in the heck we're going to do with them. We got a couple ideas of what we're going to do. So for right now, they're in the way. So I wanted to move them. Number one, cut that grass where they were sitting. So Steve did help me. We moved 10 of them, got them out of the way, and put them in the spot where they're going to sit until we figure out what we're going to do with them. So they're out of the way. They're not going to be anywhere that I got to worry about cutting. I got to move the other 12 yet, but it's much, much easier with two people moving stuff than trying to do things by yourself. We're talking about outdoor showers, Whispering Pines. You can stack two of them on top of each other and turn them into a shower. So we could make two showers for the upper meadow. We could make two showers for the lower meadow, and there goes 8 totes right there out of the 20, out of the 22. So we have talked about doing that. So we may end up doing that with them. But I was real disappointed with that whole thing. I'll be honest with you, I felt like an idiot, and it just, we I don't want to say we got taken advantage of, but I felt like we got taken advantage of in that situation. It happens. It happens. So, but then one of the guys in the group found another source for totes, and and they were used for a juice concentrate. Yeah, it happens, and you live and you learn. Exactly. So he was able to find the totes, and here's so let me just talk about this for a second. We will get into, more of the topic, but I think this is important stuff because it's like I want you guys to learn from the mistakes that we make. Okay. Because if you cannot make the same mistakes that we made and you make better decisions, then great, because believe me, I make plenty of mistakes. I do it all the time. Nothing ever goes perfectly the way that you always hope it would. That's part of life. But anyway, I got a great group, and I've talked about my group a lot of times. But so one of the guys in the group was like, "Well, hey, I got a source up here in New York where we can get these totes that they use them one time for a concentrate, for a juice concentrate. They rinse them out, and then they sell them, and so we ended up getting those, and they sold them for $80 a piece. And again, because I have such a great group, he grabbed 20 totes for us because that's what we wanted as a group. And then people wanted them individually for their buildings down here, and then we needed some for the wolf lair, and the pavilion. So Jimmy took his trailer, drove to New York, got the totes, brought them back to his place, and then he made the trip from there down to here with all these totes on this huge trailer. And I know we did a video on that, and I showed you guys that. Got the totes off, got them to where everybody wants them for their locations, and people will be setting up rain catchment, in their locations with their buildings and stuff like that. So again, the beauty of having a group of people, you got different ideas, different sources. You go, hey, we can do this, we can do that, blah, 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 blah. And it works out really, really well. Again, we're all going to make mistakes, folks. Nobody's perfect. And like I said, I make plenty. I make plenty. So, but yeah, we could use them for fuel if we wanted to. We could. But but anyway, so that's kind of where we're at with that. Rain catchment was a big thing that we talked about early in the year. We talked about that back in January. And I really was like, we need to focus on rain catchment. I know I told you guys last year we had a 3-month stretch, and I think it was June, July, and August, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly what 3 months it was, but I know July and August were 2 of them, where we had only 2 inches of rain in a 3-month period of time. And so, it really made me realize, because obviously I'm new to West Virginia. I've got to learn the patterns of what the weather's going to do and all that type of stuff. But it made me realize that was an issue, because now I'm here full time. Steve here is here full time. We had the tote behind the battery room yeah, that's got 275 gallons of water. And I was utilizing that because, that's all we had other than the water that I was catching off the camper. It's use totes for waste oil and get waste oil. Oh, that's always an idea. No, there's always options. We're going to figure out what we're going to do with them. They'll be used for something. So, I mean, they're not like going to go to waste, but the money that we had spent on them, we got them for 50 something a piece. So we were thinking we're getting a great deal. And, is there, Ed, is there any wish that you had, uh, is there anything you wish you had in West Virginia that you had in New York? Not really, neighbor Bob. Not really. So yeah, no, New York is a different situation. Down here is a different situation. It's a totally different property. I mean, I had 3 acres in New York. I have 25 acres down here. So it's basically New York. It was me and the kids. And then mom and then Becky moved on to the property and all that type of stuff. So, but well, yeah, my daughter. The one thing that I wish was down here that I don't have down here. Yeah, I want my daughter down here. Her boyfriend. They both know how I feel about that. I've told her many, many times. I want them here. That's what I want. If that's the one thing that I could change, that Heather would say, "Dad, I'm moving down here to West Virginia. I got plenty of property. We pick a spot out for them on the property. We'd get them a building in here, and and they could live in that, and they could have their privacy. They'd have their own place. Absolutely, I would do that in a heartbeat. I want her here. I'll be 100% honest with you. I want her here. So yeah, that's the one thing. That's a good point, Village Homes. I wasn't even thinking about that when they asked, but yeah, yeah, I want Heather and Sean to be down here. Sean has no ties up in New York, so them making the move down to here would be a good thing. The weather's better, the whole 9 yards. It would just be better. So yeah, if I can get them to do that, then absolutely. I My family's important to me. It always has been. And I do believe that SHTF is coming. So it's really important to me that they get here, and I would rather have her here, and that way I know that she's going to be safe because she's going to be here with me. So, but yes, that is definitely the one thing that I wish that I had down here that I don't, that I did have in New York. So Dawn says, "Oh, it's coming." I do believe so too, Dawn. I do believe so as well. Yeah, Escape from New York, starring Heather and Sean. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, all right. So let's. What do we got? 319 in the chat now. We're at 148 thumbs up. So I'm going to ask again real quick because we'll see if we can pop that number up. It's less than half of the people in the chat. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. Also, again, it really makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms, so I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, Ed, I have a 455 Rancher chainsaw. It's a mean machine. Yes, I love my Rancher. That is a kick behind chainsaw. Yeah. So, again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, all right. Anyway, been going full bore down here, getting things squared away, getting things going. Why? Why the sudden push? Right? Why did the sudden push of last year? We had a bunch of buildings brought in to the homestead. What is the push? Why are we doing what we're doing? Realistically, right? I think a lot of people are feeling that something is coming. All right. Don't know 100% what it is. And, just trying to be as ready as we can be. Being proactive. Being proactive, I think, is so, so important because when that other shoe does drop, and I do believe that it is coming, okay? I have no doubt in my mind that we're heading in that direction. Everything indications when you have your own government. So here's we're going to throw a bunch of stuff out here because it's like I'm going to go all over the place on this live stream like I normally do anyway, but we're going to try to make a point of what we're talking about. When you have different governments around the world are telling their people, prepare, get ready, something is coming, something is going to happen, get ready, right? Get food, water, and all that stuff, get prepared. But our country here in the United States is not telling our people to do that. They're not telling our people to do that, right? But yet at the same time, you have the FBI, and all these other groups are saying that there will be attacks in the United States of America by bad actors, depending on who, pick your poison, right? Iranians, North Koreans, whoever the bad guy they decide that the bad guy is, right? They're saying there's going to be multiple, notice how I say this, multiple attacks in the country. There are sleeper cells in this country. That cannot be disputed. There are absolutely sleeper cells in this country. When the government is telling you that we have 8 million people and that's the number that they're giving us, folks, okay? That's the number that they're giving us. I'm talking about all the gotaways and everything else. Simultaneously, too, yes, Don, I agree with that 100%. I believe that's exactly how it will be. I do believe that it will be an attack on the power grid, possibly the water supply at the same time. So, so anyway, you have the government telling you there's a strong possibility that this is not no. I think they're basically saying this is going to happen, but yet at the same time, they're not telling people to get ready for it. Why? They want people sleepwalking around, not being ready, not paying attention, and then when something happens, then what are all these people, right? 95% of the people in this country are not prepared for a 2-week disaster. That, as preppers, folks, that should scare the crap out of you. That should scare the crap out of you. You know why it should? Because as soon as people realize that you have something that they don't have, they're going to be knocking on your door going, hey, man, we know you got food. We know you got this. You know you got that. Help us. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. And what's going to happen, do you think, when you turn them away and say, no, I'm not helping you. We only have enough for us. You think they're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, good luck and have a good time. People aren't going to do that. We live in a very, very entitled society. Okay, I mean, you watch the stuff that goes on a daily basis in this country, and there's a victim mentality. All right, that's all over the place. So, don't you hear that noise? I got a fan on. That's the only thing that's going on in the background, guys. Is I got the fan on. But we live in a society that is full of victims. All right, they all the time. Oh, I'm oppressed because of this. I'm oppressed because of that. Poor me. Mommy didn't hold me enough when I was a kid. And the reason that I'm not successful in life is because of that. I mean, everybody has an excuse of why they're not doing something or why they can't be successful. When in reality, it comes down to an individual choices that you're making. If you're sitting around and you're drunk all the time, and if you're sitting around and you're doing all kinds of drugs and you're wondering why your life is going to crap, it's time to look in a mirror, okay, and go, hey, this is a problem. What's going on here? What are we going to do about it? Okay, so anyway, there's a lot of people out there that are not going to do a darn thing, and when something happens, they're going to demand that you do something to help them because you have planned ahead. You have sacrificed. You have not gone on this trip, that trip because you prepared and stuff like that. Laptop fan noise. I have, like I said, I have a fan on over here, so I'm not hearing any fan noise from the laptop. I bought a water filtration because of you. Good, RCAP. I'm glad, man. I am glad. I'm glad to hear that. Like I said, guys, I don't tell you these things because I'm trying to, like, when I'm telling you water filtration, right? When I talk about water filtration, you should have more than one option. I have a Berkey. I highly recommend getting a Berkey. Do I have any affiliation with Berkey whatsoever? No. Do I make any money because I recommend Berkey? No. Okay. Do I make any money because I say, go to Walmart and get the little filtration kits that'll clean 100,000 gallons of water? No, I don't get nothing for that. I do it because it's what I have done, how I prepare, and I want to help you, the people watching these videos. I want to help you to prepare the same way, to be ready, and go by what I know works. How do I know? Ed, my Berkey filter got moldy. Can I scrub it and still use it, or buy new ones? You can. Okay, what you do with your Berkey, okay, with your filters, and yes, you can clean it and reuse it. Okay, once a month, you should be pulling your filters out. You should be cleaning your upper tank in your Berkey. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so here's my Berkey. Okay, so here's where the water is in the lower tank. You pour the water in its upper tank. Your filters are in that upper tank. Once a month, you should be taking that upper tank off completely, washing everything, taking I take a toothbrush, all right, like an old toothbrush, and I'm not saying you're not using soap and water, okay? You're just going to take water, you're going to take a toothbrush, and you're going to clean all that slime and crap on your filters. You're going to clean, and you do that, those filters are going to be really good for a long time. I have a ton of backup filters. I bought them way before, the whole crisis came up and the government decided that the filters were no good and blah, 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 blah. I already had a bunch of filters ahead of time for that because, again, one is none, two is one. That is a Navy SEAL motto. So redundancy, folks, extra, extra, extra. Always have your backups. Have your backups. I have 3 or 4 different ways that I can filter water. All of a sudden, if I go from having me here, Steve down in a big blue house, and now all of a sudden SHTF happens, and let's say I have 50 people here. Okay, that's a lot of water that has to be drinking every single day. A lot of water that's going to have to be processed to be able to filter water out, so to make sure that people don't get sick and stuff like that. So these Berkeys, obviously mine, and there'll be other people having stuff as well, they're going to be in constant use, constantly filtering water, and then we're going to be taking that water out, putting it into water jugs or whatever, so that we have clean drinking water, clean water to cook with. The water in the totes can be utilized for washing dishes, for washing up, and obviously then that water can be filtered as well. There's a lot of ways that it can be done, but you can what is that? Berkey only or boil too. You can boil water as well, but it's got to be a rolling boil, and you got to do it for about 5 minutes to kill all the pathogens. But to me, I like having the Berkey. It's a really nice option. There's obviously other options. You're going to filter everything out anyway. You're going to get all the debris and crap out of your water, so that you have clean water. Like I just went out. We've had a couple little rainstorms here and there, and I checked. I have the screen on top of the tote where the water comes in, and I pulled back, and I looked at the screen, and there was some debris and crap on that. So I cleaned all that off, put the nozzle basically back in place, and put the blocks back where they needed to go. So those are things you got to check on as well. Okay, really important stuff. Water is life, folks. Without fresh water, you're going to be dead in 3 days. Or you're going to drink tainted water, right? Tainted water, and then you're going to crap yourself to death. Dysentery. I'm telling you right now, mark it down. Remember what Prepper Nurse 1 says. In a true SHTF situation, more people are going to die from dysentery, drinking tainted water, than any other way out there. They're going to see that creek, beautiful, crystal clear water. It looks great. I'm just going to drink it. I'm going to drink it up. And they're going to get a bug, and they're going to start crapping themselves, and there's going to be no way to stop it, and they're going to die. Okay, they're going to die, and it's nothing anybody's going to be able to do about it. So, uh, you might want to see about using cheesecloth on the tank. What? Well, actually, what I'm using is like a screen door filter, like you have your screen door for so the bugs and stuff can't get in, and you're basically just trying to make sure you're not getting all that crap in there. And I'll take that, and it's just not one layer; it's like multiple layers of that, and I put it on there, and I've showed that on video. So, but yeah, so that's. Do you pour your water through the cheesecloth or something similar to filter before running through the Berkey? Oh, good question, Okie Forge. But basically, when I pull the water off the tanks or out of the buckets that I use, I'm looking at the water. If the water's clear, there's not. I don't need to filter it through anything else because there's nothing more to worry about. I pour it into the Berkey, and then actually, if there is any little minor debris or anything like that still in there, which there's generally not, that's not going into the lower tank. And what's in the lower tank is clear, fresh water. Like I'm gonna hold on a second. Let me. All right. The glass is dirty, so that's just old. But that water is clear. Nothing wrong with that water. And that came out of the lower tank. And that's what I utilize it. I utilize that for cooking all the time. So I'm going to show you the glass still. It looks cloudy. It's just the old. Are you helping? Are you helping? It's just the old. This was pimento cheese glass. So, hi, baby girl. Yes, are you saying hi to everybody? But anyway, again, those are important things. Being one step ahead of everybody else is going to make all the difference in the world, folks. Anything that you can do that's going to give you an advantage is smart. Okay, baby, got to get down. So, going back to with everything that's going on, all the signs that are out there, all the warnings that we're getting, right? They're not telling us to prepare here in the U.S. There's a lot of scary information coming on. Don't be surprised. Okay, so talking about any attacks on our troops overseas, don't they want us? I shouldn't say they want us. It would appear that the powers that be, which continuously put our troops in harm's way. I guess that's a right way of saying that. Very politically non-descriptive, right? They want something to happen. That was what it would appear to be. Now, allegedly, yes, Dawn, allegedly, that would drag us into a conflict somewhere. I don't know if you guys just saw this. So Biden comes out with a statement that we are now allowing Ukraine to use weapons that we have given them, the U.S. to give them, to attack targets inside of Russia. You think Russia's going to be okay with that? You think Russia's going to go, hey, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. I know you're not at war with us, United States of America. You're having Ukraine do damage, and we're giving them weapons, right? Giving them weapons so that they can use them against us. You think they're going to be okay with that? They're going to be like, yeah, that's fine. Everything is fine. But remember, our governments and the NATO and everybody else, Russia's bad. Russia's terrible. Remember that. So, this is what I've told you. So, but, Ed, that's what we told people in Key West who still have a cistern on the property back in the 90s when I worked at a mosquito control. There you go. Yep. So, I didn't see what you said, JJ. I missed what you said. When someone is supplying weapons for attacks on your soil, is that not a declaration of war? You would think so, EV3 Dale. You would think so. So, but Yeah, Putin has been very patient so far. I don't disagree with that one at all. You know, when you have NATO powers and the United States supplying weapons that are being used to kill your people, I think that you know, I think people might be upset about that. There is a redaction on the USS Eisenhower story. U.S. Eisenhower attacked um, by the. Oh, there was a retraction. Oh, I got you, JJ. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, would it surprise me? Let's go from that angle. Would it surprise me? It would not surprise me. Would the United States admit that the rebels were able to use a missile attack on the U.S. Eisenhower? I doubt very much that they would want that information put out there. You know, because it makes us look bad. It makes us look weak. That a bunch of rebels were able to do such a thing. So, you know, but again, when you put our people in harm's way, what do you think is going to happen? At some point, you know, when when Iran sent all those things, those drones and the missiles into towards Israel, and the United States and Great Britain helped shoot all those things down. Most of them, some did get through, but most of them got shot down before they reached their target. You know, there's a lot going on with that situation. And when you continuously put our people in harm's way, at some point, something is going to give, something is going to happen. And then how is that used, right? Could that be used the same way that Pearl Harbor was used to get us into World War II? Hmm? I mean, there is rumors, not saying that it's true, not saying that it's true, but there are rumors that said that Pearl Harbor was allowed to happen because that would drag us into the war. And it absolutely did, right? You know, it absolutely did drag us into the war. There's a lot of things that are being said. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, folks. Always going to be. It's just what it is. Why was there not? Just as this is a question, we'll go to Pearl Harbor for a quick second, okay? How were we just super lucky that none of our aircraft carriers were in port when Pearl Harbor was attacked? We just got lucky, you know. All of those aircraft carriers were out there, out to sea somewhere, not in port. So why were so many ships in port in Pearl Harbor that day? That's a great question, Okie Forge. Yep. So, but again, you know, if you are trying to get drawn into a situation, you sometimes allow things to happen so that you can get public opinion, right? Because they always realize they better have the backing. And if you guys remember, with World War II, we were more of a separatist nation. Well, we did not want to get involved in what was going on in Europe. Okay, we didn't want to. The American people, that's what I'm talking about, not the government, because the government was chomping at the bit to get into that whole thing. But the American people did not want to be part of that. They did not want to be involved in a war. So when a country does a sneak attack on your people, and now, and what did that do? Man, it galvanized everybody. Everybody was locked in, and we were out for revenge. Same thing with 9/11, right? People were all jacked up about that whole situation, and we're gonna go and we're gonna like what was it, Toby Keith? We're gonna put a boot up in your behind. You know what I mean? So you know, it's just it's all part of that situation. It's all part of that situation. So you have to look at everything that happens and try to read through, because the government's going to go, here's the story, folks, this is what happened. And most people go, whatever you say, government, yes, I'm going to follow you blindly, whatever you say. Okay, but if you really look through and try to decipher and figure out, everything is not always as it seems. And so you have to pay attention to those things. And it's not about being a conspiracy theory and everything's a conspiracy and blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, do you honestly and this is an honest question. Do you honestly believe and trust everything that your government says to you? I sure don't, right? I sure don't. Lots of chatter that there will be a military draft coming soon. Hard to say. If there was, okay, so Billy the Kid Norwood, if there was a situation where something happened and we needed soldiers, then yeah, they would reinstate a draft. Absolutely, they would in a heartbeat. So, but trust but verify. There you go. Yeah, I have zero trust for the government. So, but anyway, um, all right. What do we? Let's go ahead. Let's do. I mean, it's time's flying by here. Let's go ahead. We're at 379 in the chat. We're at 216 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, ow, you're hurting me. If yeah, do put it right back. I don't have a shirt on. Well, I do, but I don't not on my shoulder. Uh, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so again, and thank you ahead of time. It really does make a big difference with the algorithm, so I do appreciate for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit all the bell icon, all notifications as well. All right, so excuse me. I don't care. Okay, you got to stop. Go. Um, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Betty White. Did she lay as well? So give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and we will go from there. She's a big baby. She's a big spoiled baby is what she is. She's got her head right down here right now, and I'm petting her because she's a snot. So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses in. Good guess, Sean. Good guess. He's making a joke. He says more than one. All right. If you had the same guess as Dale from Ohio, the very first guess, by the way, just so you know, and DJ missed it because he was the second guess, which was the same as the first guess. Dale from Ohio with 4 eggs today, and yes for Miss Betty White. So then you have the correct answer. So congratulations from Dale from Ohio. You have won absolutely nothing, and you are happy about it. So there you go. So see, he's already whoopee. He goes, there you go. So very good. So congratulations to Dale. All right. So let's get back to this, folks. A lot of chatter from our government, our own government, saying something could come on, get out. Okay, go. Get out from underneath me. You don't have to be right up my behind. I swear to you, you don't. God, it's just. Uh, all right. I'm seeing the thumbs up at 2:30. That's what I'm seeing, Dale. But so yep, Sean and Heather need to move down here, guys. In the chat, tell Sean they need to move down here to the property in West Virginia. It'd be better for them. Absolutely better for them to be here. Why is it that we can put animals out of their misery, yet people suffer in nursing homes and hospice care in their own homes? That's a great question, Bob. I've talked about that, honestly. It's one of the things that I have said through the years. When you have an animal that is suffering, the humane thing to do is put it down. We don't do that with human beings. We make them suffer to the very last breath. And it's a horrible thing. Now, would people take advantage of that? They would. They would take advantage of that. Mom and dad are a pain in the behind. We want to get rid of them, so we're going to put them down. That could happen, okay? But my thing is, if you have a terminal disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, would be one of those. You have a cancer that there's no way that they're going to be able to cure you from. Or if you're, having issues where you are in constant pain and everything else, you should have that dignity, okay, to be Alzheimer's. Yeah, there'd be another one. You should have that dignity to be able to choose to end that so that you don't have to suffer. But that's all wrapped up in religion, folks, and so we're not even going to touch that one as far as that goes. I have my own thoughts on that, You know, as a caregiver of people for more than 30 years, I believe, yeah, Dr. Kevorkian, yeah, they assisted suicide. Yeah. Yeah, I know they do up in Canada now. They have suicide pods in Canada. But again, just because you're depressed and life sucks for you, I don't think that that should be an option. All right, suck it up, Buttercup. Life is rough, and get over it. But I do believe that if there are certain circumstances, you know, you should be able to, with dignity, be able to end that suffering because that's inhumane. And that's just my opinion on that. So, but anyhow, no, I'm going to still talk to Heather and Sean and say, get down here. Come on, move down here. We can put you up someplace, put them in the woods somewhere so they can have their little privacy. That'd be nice, you know, and then they would be here. So, and I would like that. I would definitely like that. So, it's not like we don't have the room. There's plenty of room. So, but anyway, can you get a few acres of land in West Virginia for 20-30K? In Washington State, it's impossible. Was it easy to find like-minded people there? Great question. Thank you very much for the donation. I will tell you because it don't make no difference at this point anymore. When I found my piece of property here, it was 29. The prices have gone up. I will tell you that. Okay, the prices have gone up. You got a lot more people getting out of blue states and moving to West Virginia. So the land prices have absolutely gone up. So it's not as cheap as it was when I lucked, and I call it lucked into this property. Um, I got this 25 acres. They were asking $40,000 for the 25 acres. I got this property for $35,000, and that to me was a steal. You know, they worked with me, and it was awesome, absolutely awesome. And so now I've had August. It'll be 3 years that I've had the property. Definitely one of the better investments that I made. So, you know, and it depends on where you're at. You know, I'm way out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the woods, but that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's what I was looking for. So, I mean, there are deals and you can find deals if you know, get down here, if you're looking to get into West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, you know, any of the places down here. What are your thoughts on learning Morse code, or is that too old to use? It have to, you know, you'd have to have other people that knew exactly what that was too. You know, it would have to, you know, it depends on, not everybody knows Morse code. Do I think it's not a bad thing to know? No, I think it's a good thing to know. But again, you know, ham radios are going to be probably more your prevalent thing to use, you know. But you know, yeah, I mean, if you can learn it, I don't think it's a bad thing. So, but anyway, again, preparedness is about not waiting for the end of the world to happen and all that type of stuff. It is about whatever may happen, being ready, having yourself in a situation where you're not going to be a victim. That is what's important. I don't want you guys to be victims. I don't. I don't want you to have to rely on your governments, local or the major government, whatever, to save you, save yourself. You have an opportunity where you can save yourself at this point, you know, and it's like with everybody getting buildings in here and working on buildings. Like I know Mark's coming down for like a week. I know Bud's coming down for like a week this month. And they're going to be cranking on their places, which is exactly what they should do. And they're trying to get them ready. And, you know, people are bringing in supplies, you know, and they're getting their buildings stocked up. And I think that that is just a fantastic thing. Because again, and I've talked about this with my group, and I'll tell you guys the same thing. If you have a bug out location that you're planning to go to, the more stuff that you can have on site at your bug out location, when something happens, you may not be able to load up the trailer and the truck and everything else and get that stuff there. Okay. You may not be able to do that. you may be heading out on foot or on a bicycle or something to that effect. And how much stuff are you going to be able to take with you, you know? And anything that you're leaving behind is a waste because somebody's going to come in there and pilfer it and take it down the road. So, and again, you know, if you have a bug out location and you don't have somebody, how much are the mineral rights cost if you discover oil or minerals on your land, Ed? I own all the mineral rights on my property. That would be something, Alex, that you would have to look at as well when you're buying a piece of property, making sure that you own the mineral rights on that property. And that was one of the things that I asked when I bought this property. Do I own the mineral rights? And my answer was yes, you own the mineral rights. So if anything was discovered on my property, it's mine. So that's another thing that really is important to do, you know, as well. So, but uh, but anyway, I thought you were off YouTube and on Rumble. I am on Rumble, but I'm really still sticking with YouTube and doing my stuff on YouTube. I have not done metal detecting on the property. No, I have not. These were cow pastures back here. I believe at one point there was a house back here that they said. There was a gentleman that lived back here many, many, many years ago. But there's like no sign that of where that house was or anything like that. I have no idea where it was. So, but but anyway, you know, having your place. Oh, I know I was going to make a point. I was going to say if you have a bug out location, if you don't have somebody living full time on your bug out location, you definitely are going to want to make sure that it's not sitting out there in a cabin someplace, just sitting there waiting for somebody else to come in and take it. You got to be able to have it hidden enough where, in caches or whatever, buried, whatever, that when you get there, your stuff is there. No, Mountain Man, I'm not a big hunter. I hunted as a kid. If I had to do it to survive, that's a whole different ball game. But at this point right now, I don't have to do it to survive. So I would rather kind of like live in peace with nature here. But again, would I do it if I had to? Yes. I don't have to right now. I'm not, I don't have a bunch of kids and trying to take care of all that. Um, Fishing, I haven't done fishing in forever, to be honest with you. But I do like fishing. I think fishing's fun. I do have a bunch of fishing gear. Again, one of the things of prepping, making sure you have the different stuff that you may need when that time comes. So those are always important things to me. They are anyway. But yeah, I my next trip up to New York. What about a natural well, gas well? That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be awesome. No, if I could ever, if I could discover those type of things here, that would be great. You know, so yeah, I mean, I'm not big into mushrooms, but ramps and stuff like that. Any of that stuff. Yeah, foraging is good. It's good to know what you have in your area. There's a lot of food in the forest that can feed you. A lot of food in the forest. So that is not a bad thing either. So you got to realize too, folks, when the time comes, we're going to be in the woods a whole lot more, because we're going to need, fuel starting stuff. You're going to need all kinds of things, when that time comes. And like one of the things we'll probably do as we get more into the summer months, we will go back to the sawmill and get more of the slab wood. Start, like if we're having a get together and the weather's going to be decent and we can get into the sawmill, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna get that stuff, and and get more wood. It's free, so why not? And like all those trees that I just took down, that's all firewood. It's all firewood, just waiting to be utilized, which is a good thing. That's a real good thing. So, could you do a video in your woods showing what foods could eat if SHTF? Possibly, yeah, I could possibly do something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, there's a lot. If you're going to forage for mushrooms, I highly recommend getting a book of mushrooms of West Virginia and Central Appalachia. You should have books of the locations of where you are at so that you know what your wild edibles are in that region of whatever part of the country or part of the world that you are in. That's really, really important, folks. So you know what to look for. So, don't open yourself up to liability, as there are many other sources for wild foods. Oh, there's a ton. Yeah, there is absolutely a ton. And thank you for that, EV3 Dale. I appreciate you saying that. So, but yeah, it's like I said, get a game plan, put things together, get yourselves as ready as you possibly can be. Again, we don't know what's going to happen, folks. None of us know. None of us have a predicting. This is what's going to go on. We don't know, and so the more. Oh, I got to tell you guys this, and I'll do a video probably tomorrow on it and show you. My cherries are turning red. A lot of them are turning very, very red. Have you thought about using some of those down trees for raised beds? No, no, those raised beds, I will go back to morning light. I'll use concrete block again for raised beds. If I'm going to do raised beds, I love doing raised beds with the concrete blocks. So that would be something that is definitely in the plans and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I definitely want to have raised beds again. Outdoor raised beds. We're going to also definitely have greenhouses down the road here. We want as well. So, but yeah, but the cherries are looking good. Cherries are looking good. The raspberries are looking fantastic. Like I said, I'll get around. I'll do a little walking video probably tomorrow and show you guys what's going on. But I have been busy taking care of things here, trying to get things squared away as much as we possibly can. Um, you know, but yeah, but yeah, it's just it's a process, folks. It is a process, and we just got to continue to do what we can do. So, but the more trees you can plant, fruit trees, I think it's a smart thing. I'd maybe put the bottom of the raised beds like you did in New York. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Dale. Absolutely. So, yeah, I love cherries. Absolutely love cherries. So, and to get this is the second year we've had these trees, and see, there's the key again. Learn from me. My cherry trees in New York. The plum trees are doing great. Yep, got them planted. They look really healthy. They're doing really, really well. Uh, when I planted my trees in New York, I got those little bitty stick trees, right? Bought those little bitty stick trees. And it took years before they started producing anything. When you buy a more mature tree, like we bought all those trees last year, I have apples growing in the upper meadow. I have peaches growing in the upper meadow. I don't think we got any pears this year. I'll have to look. Sean saying the pear trees have started producing already. Awesome. That's awesome. So, but that took forever up there for those trees to really start to come into their own. The cherry trees here, like I said, this is the second year, and I'm getting cherries this year. I'm getting, peaches this year. I'm getting, apples this year. So, and not all the trees, but some trees will produce one year, the next year other trees will produce, and that's why it's important to have a big variety of different trees. So let's do this. I know I'm getting behind here. Peaches from the cherry trees? I don't think so. Peaches from the peach trees, maybe. Oh, I know. I called them grapes. I don't know why I called them grapes. Maybe I had grapes on my mind. I don't know. But all right, let's do this again. What do we got? 300 in the chat. We're at 259 on the thumbs up. So I'm gonna before we start to doing the shout outs, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, again, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate it. Let's see if we can hit 300 thumbs up. That's 41 more. Why not? Just to see if we can get there. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference for the algorithm. So the more interaction, the better. Again, we're very much appreciated. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, all right, we got Heavenly Hills Homestead. That is Ryan growing giant vegetables. Really good guy. Really cool to watch what he does with his stuff there. We have Icky Can up in Canada. Another good guy. He's been living off grid a year less than I have. And he's doing really well up there. So definitely worth to check out what he's doing. There is Angry Prepper down in New York City. That is Jason. Jason is a good guy as well. You have Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy. Rudy is doing his thing. I like his channel quite a bit as well. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels. Same guy. A lot of good information with his channels. You have Demcad. I like Demcad as well. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There's Bizarrizajizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, a really interesting story. You have Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle doing their thing out there. There's Magic Prepper in North Dakota. Wrangle Star, that is Cody. Good guy, a lot of good information on his channel as well, so definitely check him out. Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily coming at us from across the pond in Europe. I like her channel as well. There is Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra, doing their thing up in Minnesota. A nice young couple, definitely worth to listen to. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team, two different channels. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Nice young, or not young anymore, but they're a nice couple. A lot of good information on their channel. Green Greg's, I like Green Greg's as well. They have Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around a long time. Good channel, a lot of good information on their channel. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama, a nice young couple down there living off grid. There's the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, a couple doing their thing in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert. You have Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time as well. Good channel, a lot of good information. Boss of the Swamp. Again, another master builder. Great guy to watch. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I like Diamond quite a bit as well. Very smart man. Anything you want to know about the Grand Solar Minimum, he is the guy to listen to. You have Patera with the Appalachia Homestead. Straight shooter, she says it like it is. I like her channel quite a bit. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observers, letting you know everything that's going on with the sun. Definitely worth a listen to. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear coming at you from the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News. I like Mary Greeley as well. She gives you all the latest information with Yellowstone and everything that's going on there. I think that's really interesting. There is Adapt 2030. You have Truth Be Told with Tara. If you're going to get your weather, folks, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall is a great guy. Excuse me. Very passionate about the weather, but he gives back to the community in a huge way as well. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He gives you the information. He lets you decide what you want to do with it. There is Deep South Homestead. Another very family-friendly oriented channel. Definitely worth a listen to. You have The Outsider. There is Betting on Alaska. It's a young man, is the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Nice young man starting his journey in Alaska. You have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Town Sense. Town Sense shows you what it would take to live in the 1800s. There's a lot of good information with that. Definitely worth to listen to. There's The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Griddy. Another good channel. Definitely worth to listen to. They are also down in Tennessee. There's a lot of good information out there, folks, if you know where to look for it. A lot of good channels. I do believe we should be supporting each other, and that's why I like to do the shout outs, because I think it's important that we support each other. We're a small niche group of people, and we could learn from each other, and that's what I think we should do. I know you guys put a lot of other channels out there in the chat, and that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. I can't give a shout out to everybody. I would love to, but I just can't. So we're at 273. We're going to see if we can hit 300 before we jump off here. We got about 10 minutes left. So let's see if we can hit 300 thumbs up here before we jam out of here. So I would appreciate that just for fun, and let's see if we can hit it. It's a nice round number. So, but anyway, folks, again, I'm always going to continue to encourage you to prep. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to the little things that they're little nuggets of information that they're giving us. Pay attention to that. Always read through whatever we are given. We are never given all the information because they don't want us to know all the information. They are only going to give us what they want to feed us. So remember that. With whatever time that we have, I would strongly recommend that you do everything in your power to be as ready as you possibly can be, because we just don't know what's going to happen. It can be very scary. It can be very overwhelming. But if you just methodically work at it, you don't have to do everything overnight. None of us can do it all overnight. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it costs a lot of money, and there's a lot of process in that goes with it. But if you prioritize and you say, okay, food and water, right? You already got a place to live, most likely. You're already living somewhere. You might not be able to bug out, and that's perfectly fine. But if you say, okay, I can control food and water, that's what I can control, and you start putting those things in place, you may not be able to collect all the water right now, but down the road, you may be able to. Like if you live in an apartment building, and there's a lot of surface area, you can later on possibly be able to collect water in a rainstorm or whatever the case may be. Put yourself in a situation where you can do the best that you possibly can. If you have a balcony, with a nice plastic sheet set up on your balcony, when it rains, you can have that water funnel right in to something to be able to collect that water. So there's a lot of options that you can do. You just have to think outside the box. That's the key. Keep an open mind, do your research, learn as much as you possibly can, get that information. I think that that's really, really important. Okay. But anyway, so what do you, 286? We need 14 more thumbs up, guys. Let's keep those coming, just because why not? Let's see if we can hit 300 thumbs up before we jump off of here. So anyway, how about adding extra first aid supplies that you have not thought about stocking? That's always a good thing too, Sean. Medical supplies are going to be big. They're going to be really, really big. So really important as well. But focus first of all, if you can, on that, on food and water. Once you get that to where you're comfortable with that, then go from there. That's important. That's really, really important. So, all right, let's do this. We are Legion. We are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? And we need 9 more thumbs up now. We got Brad in Missouri. We have Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. Nebraska with Sean. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. BC, Canada with Janet. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Southern Connecticut with Bob. Missouri in the Ozarks. Amazing Grandma in northern Wisconsin. California's in the house with Denise. Pennsylvania with neighbor Bob. BC, Canada with Emil. Ozark, Arkansas Hillbilly with Randall. North Carolina with Robert. Tulsa, Oklahoma with a big A. Dana in Southern California. Let's see, Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. UP of Michigan with Dawn. We have Yatesville, Georgia with Tony. Orlando, Florida with Tina. We have Washington with Keith. Washington, Pennsylvania. Fort Payne, Alabama with Carol and Rocky. Birdsboro, I missed that one, sorry. Mississauga, Ontario, Canada with Joyce. We have West Central Ohio with Dale. We have Texas with Dust Devil. Western New York with Karen. Connecticut with The Watcher. New Hampshire with A2Z. Northwest Missouri with Kelly. We have Virginia Valley of the Shenandoah. with Jersey Reb, Central Virginia with Janet, Western North Carolina with Brandon, middle of Michigan with Whispering Pines, Village Homestead from Central New York. We have Bay Area of California with Chris, Morning Light in West Virginia. We got Critter Lover in Virginia, Snohomish, Washington with Wichita, Copper County, Missouri with Gloria. So again, folks, we are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of folks. We are the ones that are planning and preparing. We're going to make a big difference. I think we should try to wake up as many people as we possibly can. I think it's really important that we do that. Also, after an SHTF event, there's going to be a lot of people that are real receptive then to listening to what we have to say. Knowledge is power, really, really important. The more you can educate yourself, having the books and having the things that you're going to need, the better off you're going to be. So we're at 297, guys. We need 3 more thumbs up. 3 more thumbs up. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, thank you so much for what you do. It's very, very much appreciated, and I appreciate what you guys do. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here as well. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy these live streams, and hopefully we learn something from each other. You know, even in the chat, picking up stuff that people are saying in the chat makes a difference. You know, just be as ready as you possibly can be. But I do appreciate all the support, and thank you very much for that as well. Just keep doing what you can, folks. Don't panic. Panic is the enemy. It's okay to be afraid. Nothing wrong with being afraid, but just don't panic. Do what you can, and when something happens, and I believe that time is drawing closer and closer, we just need to be smart, be as ready as we can be, and just do what we have to do. So that's important. That is really, really important. So we're at 303, so blasted through 300. So you guys are awesome. So thank you for that. Remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we figure that one out, we're definitely going to be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, religion, political affiliation. A good example of the division, right? What is June, right? What is June? June is Pride Month. So, you know, they have all the whole, you know, for the gay community and stuff like that. That's done because they want you to be angry. They want you to be upset. Okay? Who cares, right? Who cares? This month is for this. Black History Month is February, right? You have Hispanic History Month. What I don't see ever is a white Pride Month. I don't see that. Okay, but it is what it is, and who cares? Tools that are used to keep you fighting amongst each other and make you angry. The whole bathroom thing, all right? All that was, folks, was a tool to keep you fighting, okay? Keep you fighting amongst each other. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see a dude with hairy legs pretending to be a woman trying to go into the woman's room. I don't want to see that. But a lot of people that are truly transgendered, you will never know that they were a woman or not a woman. You won't, okay? A lot of the ones that are trans men that were women transferring to become men, they don't look at them and go, oh, that's really a woman. You wouldn't, you know, these are all games. They use race, religion, political affiliation. These are all tools. If they can keep us fighting amongst each other, okay, then they win, because you're never going to focus on the real problem, which is big business and the government. If we could come together as human beings, and I've said this before, we could accomplish anything that we set our mind to, you know, and that's what it is. So, but anyway, also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Really, really important to do so. Also remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to... I just said that. Man, I'm like losing my mind. Okay. Sorry. All right. Repeat. Stop. Erase. Also, guys, STD. That's what I meant to say. You knew that. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do in life, the only one that is going to stop you from reaching your goals is going to be you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and you stay away from negativity, you're going to be just fine. There was a glitch in the matrix. That's what the problem was, Big A. um, if you stay positive and you set realistic goals, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. Remember that. And the only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Stay away from negative people that tell you what you can't do. Show them by doing it, and then they can't say anything. That's the best. When I've loved it through the years when people have said to me, "You'll never be able to do that," and my reply has always been the same: "Watch me," because there's not a choice. This is going to happen. This is going to get accomplished, and it always does. Maybe not as fast as I would like, okay, but it does get accomplished, and that's important. So, anyway, guys, please be safe, keep prepping, take care of your business, take care of the people that you care about. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepperness One out for now.